Hey YouTube, today we're going to be looking at some 2v2s from Gamers Without Borders, a charity tournament that is the qualifier for the $2 million LAN in Saudi Gamers 8. Now it's crew battles, which includes 2v2s, and we're specifically going to watch the games that Daniel and Beastmode played together, because Daniel and Beastmode are the kind of duo that forced the move in the RLCS. I mean, these guys play so well when they played 2v2 together that they wanted the team, and they would do anything to make it happen. So in this last RLCS offseason, Daniel moved to version 1, and it's a part of version 1 with Daniel, Beastmode, and Calm. A little wall challenge is going to lead to the first goal. Now, it's very clear right now that Daniel and Beastmode make the best 2v2 team in North America. Now, the next best 2v2 team, according to all the tournaments that have happened, is Chronic and LJ. Now, Chronic and LJ will not be able to play on the same team for Gamers 8. I'm not sure if SSG made it, now that I say that. I think they did. But either way, they would not be able to play together as Daniel and Beastmode try an insane pinch, because Chronic, of course, on Genji and LJ with SSG. A couple bumps from Daniel. This could be a scoring opportunity, and it will be, as he secures a goal. So who will be able to stop Daniel and Beastmode? Well, it'll probably be somebody from a different region, because I can't imagine anybody from North America having a sudden breakout when the way that these guys have played against other North Americans. So who do you guys have as the best 2v2 matchup? Is it Daniel Beastmode, or is it somebody from EU? Is it Rawas Kaliers? Are people thinking about the Saudi duos that they maybe haven't seen go up against these guys? I think Rawas Kaliers could be a good one. I think Zen and Alpha 54 is obviously one to watch out for, but in recent matches on Johnny's stream, Zen and Alpha 54 have not been unbeatable. Not like Daniel and Beastmode very clearly have been in North America, but oftentimes the best player or team from North America seems to have a big brother effect on other North American teams. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I mean, obviously, it started with First Killer. First Killer just could not lose to anybody from North America, and I think that people almost gave extra respect to First Killer and made it a lot tougher than it needed to be. And I think it's the same way with Daniel and Beastmode. Everybody's so scared of Daniel and Beastmode in North America that it seems almost improbable that they'd ever lose to anybody there. But EU, the Middle East, maybe even Sam, Yan, and Lost, they're not going to have those, or I say Sam, they're also North America, just like CRR Raise Bowl. But they might have the kind of confidence to try and take these two guys down. But we haven't seen them play recently, except for in this Gamers Without Borders. I want to say there's been some 2 show matches, but no tournaments or anything recently, although every one that Daniel and Beastmode have played in, they've won, except with one exception. You guys remember Zanil and Cheese won one. When Daniel and Beastmode lost to them in the semifinals. But since then, that was actually, of the 2v2 tournaments that I can think of that Daniel and Beastmode played, that one was the longest to go. So since then, Daniel and Beastmode have held it down, and we have not heard from Zanil and Cheese in 2s since then. There hasn't been tons of opportunity for them to prove it. We're watching from Daniel's perspective. That wasn't clear. Right now, Daniel and Beastmode up 3-0. Now, the way that this tournament works, if you haven't been watching the previous videos, is that when you're losing, you get to pick the game mode. Now, when it's best of 5, you could be picking a game mode that will otherwise not be played, because you could win. Every other game is 3v3. So if you win in a sweep, you may never get to play that opposite game mode. So it is very interesting to see what players will pick. But I think in general, players avoided playing Daniel and Beastmode over playing Daniel in 1s. And also version 1, when they had the choice to pick, they always went to Daniel and Beastmode. I think you'll see a lot of teams, especially a team that has as good of a 2s team as these guys do, not picking 1s very often. Only the champion of Gamers 8, that's a great save from Raceball, landing on the wall, Furia, seemed to have the guts, I guess, to pick 1s and put Yan in. Even Falcons at the time had the best 1s player in the world in TRK. Even they would pick 2v2s. You know, they had a good 2v2 team, but certainly nobody could match up like TRK, or against TRK, like, that had to be their most favorable pick, and they still would go with 2s, and lots of teams will do that. I think you'll see some teams like, I believe, was it Gaming Gladiators who was playing with, or OSM was playing with? They picked 1s because they knew, you know, OSM had a better chance than anybody else. But 5-0 for Daniel in Beast Mode against Complexity, so a very clear win for these two. I think they're going to get the biggest tests of their 2's lives in this tournament, and they obviously handled it here against CRR and Raze Bowl. We're going to watch another game against, I believe it was Chicago and Atomic in G2, one of the other 2's matches that they played, see how it went for them there. But in this one, it was 4 goals for Daniel, a goal for Beast Mode, and these two never seemingly worrying at all. Ball will hit the ground, 5-1. Let's go watch these two against G2. We will watch this one from Beast Mode's perspective. Now, this is game 2 of the series. You're always going to see these games played on Forbidden Temple or Utopia Coliseum because, first off, Daniel immediately scoring, because they're going to have to be played in games 2 or 4. Game 1 is always the 3's game. Game 3 is always the 3's game. But G2 actually picking 2v2 here. And while I talked about how teams will pick 2v2 in general, I think I mentioned that not many teams want to play Beast Mode and Daniel, but nobody on G2 feeling very confident in their 1's game against Daniel. And it's just, you know, there's too many threats. What a nice pinch to midfield. Beast Mode just ready. Because you're playing, honestly, especially for these North American tournaments, the best North American 1v1er you have to pick to play against, or the best North American 2v2 duo. So you're screwed either way, just about whether or not you feel like you have somebody who's played any 1s, or if you're just going to be better off on 2s. Now, Chicago and Atomic certainly played more 2s than either one of them have played 1s, so I guess that's why they decided to try their hand at taking down Beast Mode and Daniel. Now, will they be able to do it? A minute in, doesn't seem like it. 2 goals for Beast Mode and Daniel as they collide on the back wall. Oh my goodness, these team pinches are insane. Does this one go in? I can't believe they're doing this with such consistency. I don't know how often they play 2s in comms, as that's going to be a goal. Atomic able to get the demo as he cuts it in, but it's so clear that they are setting up these pinches, and they're on target. I mean, they're not fully on target. It's pretty hard, but they're not just wild. They're not hitting the side wall. They're missing slightly high above the net, slightly to the right, which is just unbelievable that it seems like we are going to see team pinches from them in this tournament. If they end up playing enough 2s, we're going to see them team pinch 1 directly into the net. And that's one of the things that people talk about a lot. Great play by Beast Mode. It's a good 1s play. Just needed to get the ball on top of his car to flick over Atomic. 4-1 for version 1. But it's one of the things that people talk about in terms of skill ceiling. You'll hear a lot of people say, you know, we're nowhere near the skill ceiling. Or some people who are incorrect will say things like, we are near the skill ceiling. But team pinches is one of the first things they bring up. Like, in theory, teams could just be team pinching all, you know, directly on target, 150 km/h shots across the whole map. That is possible. We've seen it. Daniel and Beast Mode almost hit 1 or 2 already. So maybe there'll be a day where players are setting up counterattacks with pinches across the whole map with consistency, but we aren't there yet. Maybe we'll be there soon. Beast Mode challenging as he comes back off his attack in 2s. You'll see that a lot in 2v2. Somebody looking to disrupt while the last back shadows. So in this case, Daniel just sitting back and making sure he doesn't let the ball get past the last defender because he is their last hope. And Beast Mode, instead of doing a wide rotation, you know, and letting Daniel get a read and then eventually challenge, instead he chases the play from behind and looks to effect it as early as possible, and then Daniel can handle whatever happens in the leftovers. Here, Beast Mode's going to try and take it to the opposite corner where only Daniel can get to it. Daniel's touch immediately intercepted. Looking like version 1 is not completely invulnerable. They have to play some defense. Atomic, I don't know if that boost spawned for him. Beast Mode misses a read. Yeah, it spawns right after. Chicago able to pick it up at least. And now it's Daniel alone, and that's One of the best things about playing with Daniel. I just got done watching a ton of Ru 1, so I can't help but think about Ruas too. Having Ruas in your back line. Having Daniel, who's also a great defender. You don't have to break a sweat. You know he's going to handle the 1v1 situation. Atomic slams the ball just over the net. You see that nice wave dash from Beastmode as he recognizes he can collect the dribble. A minute 25. G2 having an attack right now to get Beastmode in the air, but Atomic had to put that on target. Instead, he flicks it high. Chicago, bit of an all-in play. Counterattack opportunity certainly available as Daniel trying to get this read. He can't get it, and Beastmode not the best touch either. That needed to be something towards the blue half. Straight up down. Could have been a tough situation. Luckily for them, G2 has so much respect for what they can do. Probably not expecting a mistouch like that. Beastmode trying to slow play this. And he probably could have put it behind. With 40 seconds left to go. G2 gonna need 10 or a goal every 10 seconds. Not likely to happen late, so it looks like Daniel and Beastmode win again. In fact, that's not on target. What am I talking about? But Daniel Beastmode, will it be more dominant than Daniel 1's? Probably. Certainly once you get the other EU 1's players into the mix. I think while Daniel's favored, he's a little bit less favored than he is when he's playing North Americans. Wow. G2 should have had another goal, but it doesn't really matter. Whereas I think Daniel and Beastmode, they might be a better 2's team relative to the world than Daniel is a 1's player. We'll have to see. I'm excited that we're going to get the answer. It's so awesome that Gamers Without Borders and Gamers 8 put these pros in a situation where they're forced to play these other modes very, very competitively and take them serious, because not often can we do that for the various modes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed Daniel and Beastmode in 2v2. If you guys have been enjoying the videos, we're really close to 50,000 subscribers. Not 500,000, I wish. 50,000. So if you want to, please subscribe. If not, I'll see you next time.